Well, we talked about how we started with Seeds of Success, and it was kind of labor of love. It's a personal development book, almost more of a spiritual book. We then went for our second book, and with that second book, we actually decided we really liked the publishing business. We saw that it may be an opportunity for us to help other authors get their books out, and maybe an opportunity for us to get all of the different things that we might put out over the years out there. So we actually, before our second book, right after we wrote Seeds of Success, we started SOS Publishing, where we help first-time authors publish their books, but all of our material comes through SOS Publishing, so it's almost our product development arm. So we started SOS Publishing, and really the book that we started it with was Retreat to Success, Living Your Life on Purpose. So another more personal development book, but this time a little more focused on the individual from an organizational perspective than so the first book. So Retreat to Success, really a story of three characters, all in kind of different parts of their lives. We talked about the journey, learning how to lead, all in different parts of that journey to learn how to lead. One character, the young gun, which happened to be my character. Another character, Superwoman, kind of a mother of two, married, trying to climb her way up to the top when it comes to working. So, and then the other character was a retreat leader, kind of the veteran of the personal development industry that had a lot of insight to share with two people on their way up. So kind of a really unique way of writing a book, and it turned into, like Seeds of Success, turned into probably something different than we expected, but we've really enjoyed the benefits of that book, and it opened up actually a whole market that we never really dreamed of.
Yeah, with that third author, Amber Fogarty, is my daughter, Billy's sister, and she was working with us on many projects as part of our business, and so she is that classic superwoman. We had the idea for that. We said, who do we know who really is that character that's trying to juggle family and career and trying to get it all right, that also wants to change the world at the same time, and how are they juggling all of that? So we talked to her and asked if she'd like to be part of that. So she's that third author. Not only did that give a different voice to the story and a great perspective, as Billy said, that book gave us the entryway into the publishing business that was never part of our initial plan, and now our publishing division actually produces and creates all of our training materials, all the materials that our clients use and that we actually use with other coaches around the world. But the other interesting thing that came, that superwoman character resonated with the market and began the process of what today is the Great Women Leaders program that really has made a significant difference in the Austin community and soon to be launched all across the country. That was also not part of our plan, but that voice spoke, that story spoke to so many women trying to lead in those different areas of their lives. Billy's story of that young gun trying to figure out how to get started the right way, and my story of kind of looking back and trying to make a difference in the lives of others and how to live out the rest of my life and close out that fourth quarter of my life strong, all fit together. So that led us into that. So,
and the great thing about that book is it's written by following these characters as they journal while they're on a retreat. And in the chapters, there's discussion questions, but there's really journal questions at the end of each chapter. There's areas that you can take some notes, but you could also journal, because one of the most important things that we believe is journaling, kind of being able to look back at the past, and it's a really important thing. So we actually gave everybody that reads that book an opportunity to start journaling in the book, which I think is kind of a nice bonus. you read a book and you hope to get inspired, maybe you hope to get an idea or two, but we believe that you also want to take some kind of action. Journaling, when it comes to Retreat to Success, was the action that we wanted to
It could be a book for personal reflection with the journaling, writing crystallizes thought, or a group study, a book that could be done group study for that group to get together and reflect together. That's where the idea for Great Women Leaders came. It came from the journaling, from the groups getting together. Many people had that book, and as they go through the book, they say, we're going through that in groups with other superwomen, and that created the idea that today is Great Women Leaders.
And the third book, our most recent book, was written and published in 2014. It's called The Turnaround, If You Don't Grow, You Go. Funny enough, we waited until our third book to write a book that actually had a real planned benefit for our business. It was really our professional story. So The Turnaround really is a story about an organization that turns around their results by turning around their culture. And more than anything, as with Seeds of Success was kind of my dad's personal story, some of my personal stories, the turnaround was his story in how he would turn around organizations by focusing on people. And it's really what we do as SOS Leadership for our corporate clients. We go in and help them build what we call development cultures, focused on growth, focused on personal responsibility, and that, building those leaders up, that's how you change cultures, that's how you improve results, that's how you multiply. So that's really what that book's about, but really it's his story, written in a story, that sounds a lot like all of our clients. One of the questions every client that we had that read the book said, were we the client that you talked about in the book? And what was great is with everyone that asked that, we said yes. Because every one of our clients is that story in the book. It's called The Turnaround. You can turn around your results by turning around your culture, but not every organization will think they need a turnaround, but every organization can benefit from next level growth. And a turnaround may be taking you from near bankruptcy to having a sustainable business, but it also could take you from a thriving business into a business that is focused on next level growth and doubling, tripling, quadrupling.
What I always say to people when they ask that question, if you're not in a turnaround, if you're in a turnaround, this is the path to get out and get things back on track. But if you follow the process, the principles in the book, you'll prevent the need for someone like me to come in and be your interim CEO and put your company back on track. So it's a simple, easy to read company. It's based on a real client, a real company that I work with. No names mentioned other than names that we made up. And we actually had a little fun with some of those names as well. So in hindsight, when we look back at SOS, the turnaround, if we wanted to have a book that would be our calling card of what we do the best, we would have written the turnaround first. That would have made our entry into the marketplace easier and would have told the story. But we wouldn't be the company that we are today, and the two of us as individuals wouldn't be who we are today had we followed our head instead of our heart. Our head, we probably would have gotten a few more clients. We would have gotten into what it is we really do best, which is change cultures in an organization and make a difference in the lives of their people and create that culture of growth. But we wouldn't be who we are today had we followed that. So sometimes things work out the way they're supposed to, but from a business standpoint, if we wanted the quickest path to success, we would have written the turnaround first.
And really the subtitle of the turnaround is, I think, our motto as a company. I think my dad's personal motto in his growth. But if you want to turn around any organization, or if you want to know what's important as a leader, it's if you don't grow, you go. That's really why we exist. We exist to help others grow. And really, in life, you only have two choices. You grow or you decline. So we say that if you don't grow, you go. And that means that when you're not growing, you can only be declining. So there really is only one choice, and that's growth.
So we wrote wrote 3 books with 3 themes for my life. One is that journey from success to significance. The other is living your life on purpose by understanding what your purpose is and who you really are. And then if you don't grow, you go, which is where my absolute unquenchable thirst for knowledge and learning that started many, many years ago as a high school dropout through the long, windy road of learning and growing and study that I now pass on to others. Because no matter how much education you have, no matter what you learn, information changes. It comes at us so fast today. You could be an expert today and obsolete tomorrow, so life is really about growth.